Welcome to Coming in Hot from the Bedroom. You guys, it's a special edition. Mama hasn't been feeling good, okay? But work doesn't stop. Podcasting doesn't stop. So we brought the camera in here into the bedroom, in bed, and the mics, and John. We dragged everyone in the bed. Even the dogs are here. And we're going to do a little chit chat because you guys asked us a bunch of questions over on Instagram, which we love. And we wanted to do a question and answer. We always think this is so fun because I kind of like to know what's in your mind. And then it's always funny, the answers. So let's get started. John, welcome. We are keeping our distance. Keeping our distance because I'm not feeling good. Okay. Are you ready for the questions?
Yes. Let's do this.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna come in strong and hot. How did you know she was the one?
Can we start with a different one?
No, why?
What?
How come? You
I
don't
think it
wanna
was
answer?
just the smile and her overall kindness.
What?
Yeah. And I was just
What's going on?
attracted to her.
Are you cranky
Yeah.
or
No,
what?
and I was just attracted to her.
John
I was
gets
just-
cranky, guys, because he has to set everything up, which is what he's doing. And then he gets annoyed because then there's shit in the way. And then you see him in his own head just getting annoyed by things. And then he just gets into a mood and like he just cannot snap out of it. But what's annoying you? Everything is fine.
Okay.
Who cares? Like snap out of it. And this is when he's like, nothing has to be perfect.
I'm glad
Then
I
he's
get to edit this.
psychotically fixing everything. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. Relax. Okay, let's
Okay.
do this. Let's have a good time. You have your crazy face on and I don't like it. Okay, I can tell. I've been with him for 20 years. This is like, I can tell his annoyed face, but he's trying to be nice and pretending he's not annoyed. How did you know she was the one?
I think it was just the laughing, and we were able to laugh and have fun together.
What happened?
What?
I'm kidding.
We could still dance every once in a while.
Yeah, well, guys, let's just be honest. This is the thing, is that it isn't a fairy tale, right? And I think that's what's good when John and I talk about relationships, because we do have a healthy and happy one, but is it perfect? Of course we get annoyed. Of course, I'm sure we both want to run for our fucking lives at times.
Every once in a while.
You know what I mean? And no, do people annoy you? Do their habits annoy you? Do things they do annoy? Of course, absolutely. And it's just about, again, I think it is a little bit about being able to laugh, I think is something that never dies. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think respecting each other in the sense of I think we both really respect that we're good people, that we know that deep down we're good people, mean well, you know what I mean? Even if we fuck up or we do something, it's it's never coming from a bad
Right.
place. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's the morals and the values are there. I think I just hit the mic, sorry. The morals and the values are there. I think the laughter is there. So I think those things are what's really important. And I think if you can find that in somebody, right? Much more I always thought he was cute. I obviously find him attractive and all of those things. But I don't think that's what's long lasting because things can change.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Especially women. We change, our bodies change, especially when you're going through menopause and you're going through a lot of change in pregnancy, menopause. So again, if you're just looking at looks,
Right.
looks can change,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
It's that's the thing. And it's what's beneath that? But how did you know I was the one, you wanted to get married? That's the question.
Yeah, you checked all the boxes.
Wait, but what are the boxes? That's what they're asking.
What? Yeah. Oh, one, I was attracted to you. Two, you were funny and had great humor. You were independent. You were motivated. We had the same beliefs overall, just being kind. We both loved to travel. Both wanted kids and things that
Yeah,
just
a lot
aligned.
of similar.
Right.
Even though we have a lot of things that are different, but there's more things that are
The
similar.
core
The core is similar.
Similar. The
Yeah.
beliefs.
Okay. Do you ever get mad that Caroline is on her phone a lot?
No, because I am. I am.
I was gonna say, did you guys remember John?
In my past, yes, I'd been on my phone a lot.
You guys
So,
remember
I
when
know
you
what that
guys? I don't know if you. Okay, well, the podcasters maybe don't remember, but my OGs,
Yes.
they would love to comment on John being on his phone.
Always
Remember,
on my phone.
Italy, the trip. There is every single photo of our vacation. John staring at his phone. It became a joke. I started taking just
Yeah.
photos of him looking at his phone as a joke. But because we'd always be like, "Where's John?" And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
even did a whole reel on you.
Well, that was- I
sleeping
think-
with your phone. But
I
you
think-
you were on.
I think that's why we work well together is because we both work. We'll put in the effort and work hard, and you're not seen as, oh, you're lazy or you're doing this. I see how hard you work. You know how hard I work. And when I'm not working hard, you know I don't like what I'm doing. So
That's actually true.
And we both will put in the effort.
Like editing the podcast. No, but truthfully, which is so true though, because it's just a great point of like which we'll talk about. We'll touch on it later because it is true, especially when you're hiring people and things about what they like. It's like even in the core where we are responsible for this, we still don't like doing things, obviously. No. But I think I don't get annoyed. I think we once got a little annoyed when you'd be on your phone all the time when the kids were little. I remember I used to be like just pay attention or you need to be present, and I get frustrated, but I think it was more frustration because I wasn't doing something I wanted to necessarily be doing. Like if I was on the floor playing for 2 hours with the toy trucks, I would feel this little bit of like, you're the dad, they're boys, like this is not what I want to be doing. Do you know what I mean? And then John would have of course it wasn't an excuse, but I felt like it was an excuse for work to always be like off and like distracted. And so I would get a little bit frustrated, but now that I'm obsessed with what I'm doing, now I understand. And now I'm like, I can't wait to get back on my phone. Yeah. So like I do get it. It's like when you love it, you want to do it all the time. Okay. This is a good one. Okay. Do you still look at each other that way?
I would say yes.
I would too.
I do.
I do too. I know, but do your my favorite.
Wooga, wooga.
That's my favorite thing he does. When I come down the stairs and I've got a good outfit on, or I know I got something cute on, and I know John's going to like it or whatever. Yeah. I love when John does this. He does like the, what do you do? It's my favorite. No, I think we're both still very attracted to each other. I still think he's the cutest, hottest guy I know. I still think he's the nicest. I still think it's just more of like, I think we'll get annoyed at little things. Obviously, it's been 20 years, and obviously we have our own what do you say that, John? Idiosyncrasies that like, of course, will just like, of course it annoys you. But I think at the core, which I think was the most important, is that you still think like that smile is cute. Do you know what I'm saying? Like John will look a certain way, or he comes in the room, he looks cute. And it's like, yes, there's still that, like, no, I'm not looking around. Like, I'm not looking to cheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not on my mind. I still want to look good for him. Mm-hmm. Like, when I get dressed and I look cute, it is for him and my kids. Like, I love it when
I thought it was for you.
What? No, but I'm saying, like, I'm not looking for male attention.
Oh, yeah, no. You never
was. Like,
you never were.
I'm saying I like looking good for my own family.
You're not looking to be sexy and all. You never were. And if you were, that I wouldn't have been attracted to you.
Right?
Yeah.
I never was.
No, you never were. You're not like... Oh,
like, I never liked the attention and all, like, the boobs hanging out. Like, I actually never liked
No, not from a sexual perspective.
No. Like, look good. Yes. Yeah. No. So I think we keep it, and I think we try, when you say you keep looking at each other that way, I think there is something about making that little bit of effort of still looking good and still putting yourself together. Why I honestly do think it's so important, truthfully, is you didn't marry somebody to not be attracted to them, right? Or to not want to look at them and think they're cute. Or so for me, it's like I still make the effort because I still think it's an important part of a relationship and a marriage, and for your kids to see you still attracted to each other, or still see you dressed up and going out for a date or holding hands and affectionate. I think it's really important. Yep. I think that's the example you're setting. So I think we go out of our way a little bit to still get dressed up, to still make that date night. Still go out with our friends we still make that. And I think when the kids were young, that's something that we committed to. We had a babysitter every Saturday night so that we could get dressed up and like go do something. So like we would keep that connection, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you keep your love alive when you're so busy with work and kids and mom? You kick it off.
I think back to you.
What?
Back to you.
For me to keep it alive, I think right now it is just busy, and I think it is exhausting and it is overwhelming, and you don't have a lot of time. I feel like I don't have a lot of time of being alone or a lot of privacy, even being sick like this week. It doesn't matter if I have COVID. Everyone's in my room, like everyone's asking me questions, like I still have to film, I still have to shoot, I still have to answer questions. Like that's just the way it is. To keep it alive for me, it's like small moments, having like that little bit of care to me. It's like that little bit of affection, whether it's that little foot massage or being able to have a laugh, or John just having dinner ready, or the coffee in the morning when he brings the coffee up in the morning. See, that to me is affection. That to me, it's like that shows love. It isn't so much about having to have sex all the time or having to feel like this like crazy, that craziness. Like to me, it's more about comfort, having a place to feel safe, to feel good, to feel taken care of, because you do feel like you're always putting a lot of energy out. So to have a little bit, I think to what keeps it alive, or what keeps our love alive to me, is the care. Like having someone to listen, having someone checking in if you're okay, the way John takes care of my mom and helps with my mom, like that to me is super attractive. Like when he's really nice to her, I see him out walking with her, he's making her food. Like I'm so grateful for that, because it's just like one less stress, because it does feel like I have 1,000 people asking me things all the time, and we don't have, so I think being able to make those plans, like I love going out with John with like friends, like that I think keeps that closeness. Certain vacations when like we just plan something with the kids specifically for us to go and bond and have some fun, when we're able to like just sit and laugh and talk about something, or like put the music on and start dancing with the kids and stuff, like I think that's what keeps the love alive. It isn't so much, right? It's just like we are so busy and we have so much going on. So for me, I think it's those acts of care and knowing that you have a teammate to do it with, especially right now when we're taking care of everybody and trying to work and trying to make our dreams come true. You don't have a lot of time. That's the truth. We're working 24/7. We have people around 24/7. We're caring for everyone 24/7. So the most that I think we can do is just show each other that little bit of respect, of making sure, like when you say you want to go play golf, like go have fun. Like he never gives me a hard time to go want to go see a friend or go to Monica's. I think that to me is what keeps the love alive. What do you think?
Yeah, similar. Yeah,
No, you got to answer. This is a podcast.
No, it is. That's just doing those little things for each other and just showing that you're thinking about them. Yeah, because we know it's tough.
And it's also like different schedules, like where John's better at night, like I'm more tired at night. So it's like the thought that we're just like every night going to sit and catch up. Like I want to come up and chill. So it's understanding and respecting each other's needs and moods, because like when he's cranky, I'm not, and then I'm annoyed that he's cranky because I'm not cranky, and I want him to be happy with me. And I'm sure he feels that way sometimes, where it's like you're never always on the same page. So I think giving each other the grace to feel what you're feeling and still be respectful, right? John, we need your opinions. How did you guys meet? Oh, another one. How did you know guys were the one?
We were at a club for a birthday party of a mutual friend, and I saw her. We were waiting in line. She came up behind and she said, "Are you here for Jody's party?" She was with some guy, and I was like, "Oh wow." And I was having a girl meet me there that night, so it was one, get to know her and somehow and I had my brother with me, and I had him and his girlfriend at the time chat with her, but and then follow up with her after. So we were at a big nightclub.
It was my worst nightmare, guys. So just know that anything is possible, because when I say that I, did not want to go out, I was fucking exhausted, and I literally just threw my hair in a ponytail. It's that typical story that you just don't want to go. You're dragged there, and it's the biggest club of the planet. And somehow John and his twin were standing outside, and it was this very much definitely love at first sight, like that, oh, he's cute, like good vibe, good energy, whatever that was. And then from there, thank God, we all kind of hung out that night. And then the next morning, my friends called to say like, hey, that one of the twins was asking about you. And so from there, it probably took about a month to actually get together. We had his brother's girlfriend kind of finally set it up. And we went for dinner. And then she said, hey, do you want to meet up with the boys? And so I was like, yeah, sure. Then we met with John, and it was like, he's just as cute. I remember thinking like, he's just as cute. By the end of the night, I think we kissed. The next day we saw each other. And we moved in 5 months later. We were engaged 2 months after that. And within the year, we're married. And we've been together. We're married 18 years now.
Yes. Okay.
So anything's possible, ladies.
Okay. Do the kids speak Spanish? They are in entry-level Spanish in school, and it's probably their worst grade.
I don't want to hear it. It's a nightmare. You guys, I know everyone expects them to speak Spanish because I speak Spanish. it is hard when you don't grow up in a Spanish household. Like, I know Spanish because my parents only spoke Spanish. My parents never spoke English. So I grew up listening to that 24/7. And the reality of me speaking Spanish 24/7 while John's speaking English, I just wasn't raised like that. That's not how I think. It's not how I talk. So it was very hard for me.
Yes.
So they are in Spanish class. So no, they don't speak fluent Spanish.
Does John speak Spanish? Sí.
No sé.
So I understand.
No, hablas un poco.
I understand it, and I.
Bueno, tú no entiendes todo lo que te dijo, porque yo hablo muy rápido y a veces tú no sabes lo que te estoy diciendo,
Yeah,
porque yo a veces te puedo insultar.
I understand what you're saying. So here's with Teresa. Sometimes I'll speak Spanish with her, and then she feels like oversharing, and I don't need that. Like, I don't need to hear about all these things.
Well, you give her the hand, she takes the arm.
Yeah, even though she's speaking in Spanish, and I'm like, and she can just talk, and so I yes her. And
she forgets he doesn't speak Spanish fluently, and then she will literally tell him her deepest, darkest secrets, and it's
sometimes
traumatizing.
I don't want to know.
Nobody wants to know.
No. It's like when I was moving her out here the first time, and I was in the hotel room with her, and we had dinner and this, and she was telling me all sorts of stories.
It's feisty over here with the
and she was telling me in the English. I was like, oh, but now she speaks Spanish, so now it's like, yeah, it's fine. I understand most of what she's saying, so I get the gist.
But you pretend you don't.
But she thinks I know.
But do you know or do you
not? I know.
Like all the crazy stories she tells you, you understand everything?
No. I understand like 80% of it.
Okay.
Or the gist of it.
Continue on.
Did Caroline always swear like a longshoreman? That and a
what
truck
the
driver.
Fuck?
And yes, she's always sworn, and I do a little as well.
He's more hidden with it.
Oh no! Even when at work, I would swear.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. He doesn't. You don't swear a lot. I think
not as much.
When
I show my emotion, I will.
Yeah, everyone's.
But not at anyone. No, it's more of just.
And we don't curse at people. No. We're not telling people to go fuck. Like, we're not. No. It's more of just like in that moment. I've always sworn
more for
my entire life.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm never gonna stop.
And my mom is always sworn.
You guys, it's the best. Always. Me and his mom could swear to the end of time. We have the best time.
I just remember her driving. It's like, oh yeah,
what would she say?
Swear like, f this, f that.
And his mom is the cutest little thing.
Oh yeah, so
basically, I'm never going to stop swearing. No. I love you all.
No. How do you guys deal with different parenting styles? Ooh.
Oh,
that's a good one.
It is a good one.
I'm a little harsher with them, and she's a bit more sensitive.
Yes, I more go the psychology route because obviously that's what I studied, and I grew up, and I think as a woman and going through all the emotions of middle school and high school, I'm very sensitive to it all and very sensitive to dealing with my parents a lot and like just really understanding all of the feels. Like, I really was very aware as a young girl because my parents were going through so much, and I kind of felt like the one that had to keep everybody together. So I have like a weird awareness of people. And I feel like I'm very sensitive to what they're going through, how they're feeling, and wanting them to have the best shot at it. It's more of like just setting them up for success. So I'm definitely a little more empathetic. Like, I feel more, I worry more. I'm probably a little bit more of definitely the worrier.
Worry more.
Oh my God. I'm like.
But what's amazing is this is where you have more patience.
Yes. I do have more patience. I'm really good at talking to them and talking through things. And the way I feel like I know how to read them both a little bit better, and I know how to like handle them both differently and better. Where John's amazing with them, he just is definitely more like.
I think I'm yelling at him, but I think it's how I'm speaking. It's not necessarily yelling.
You're just harsher. I mean, It's like your dad was like that. It's like very direct and a little harsher and a little more like you're just annoyed, like just get it done. And I think sometimes when they were younger, I always felt like you expected them to be older than they were, more independent than they were. And I say this with all the respect because I understand that your dad actually was very strict and made you guys super independent. And it's probably the best qualities about you because like you actually know how to fix everything and do.
Not as independent as an identical twin, but.
But you know what I mean?
Yes.
You knew how to do everything, and I respect that. Mm-hmm. But I also think, there's an expectation sometimes that it's like that you just don't want to deal. And I don't know if that's the truth, but it's like sometimes it feels that way. Like you're just kind of like, you'll just put it like, yeah, well, they have to do it. Just go do it. And it's like, no, sometimes you have to help them, and sometimes you have to show the way. And sometimes you have to stop what you're doing. And like, I always felt like sometimes like, yes, we have to put our phones down and like show them through example or help them or go over, we have to helicopter a little bit. It isn't like they're just going to get it and it's just going to like overnight change and happen. So I think that's where I come from.
Yep.
You're more probably strict with the grade. Yeah, I think we're both strict with grades.
Yeah.
You're just harder and definitely keep on it more, which is good. My parents never check my grades. So like I'm not, but I want them to do well. And I do think it's important to do well.
All I care is when
What?
they're 20, 25, 30. I don't give a fuck when it is. As long as they come
you're
back.
cursing, boo.
As long as they come back and say, you know what, Dad, you were right. Those are going to be the best.
But what do you think you want them
words.
to be right about? Like, what are you strict about?
The work ethic,
Yes. Work ethic.
One, following up. Like, I don't get mad about the grade as long as they put in the effort,
follow-through.
they ask for help. There's 3 things. 1, ask for help. 2, start early. And 3, try your best. Like, and if you do all 3 of those, those are things that you don't have to be the smartest person. I don't care about that. I just putting in the effort and asking for help, taking advantage of the opportunities and what's there, like going to office hours, asking the teacher for help, asking us for help, as opposed to say, oh, I had a test today and I didn't do well because I didn't study, I didn't do this. Yeah, we need help. So,
you butt heads with Finn a lot for whatever reason. Like I do feel like you and Sawyer are definitely more alike, and like Sawyer can like deal a little bit more. Like you can be kind of,
I think
you
Finn
can be
and I
rude, and then Sawyer is like annoyed, but then he kind of comes back around. He's
Yeah,
fine. He
well,
has more your
but I
personality of
think-
like letting it go, whereas Finn gets pissed at you like I get pissed at you. And me and Finn are more similar that way, where we're a little tougher.
oh shit.
But it's true, and I
Yeah.
think that like you butt heads with him a little bit more because he doesn't like the harshness. Like you cannot walk in there and be like, "You didn't do that."
No,
Like, what
he
do you
doesn't
mean?
like
And then, oh god.
not knowing and being. He's not fly by the seat of your pants to do anything.
But how do you feel when he says to you, like it feels like all you care about is grades?
Well, it's not
What do you
what I
feel
all
that-
care about.
Yeah,
so
what do you
I
think
have
it
to
is?
figure out how do I tell him it's not about grades, and then I'll go back to the same thing. Why do you have incompletes? And why did you not turn in your homework? Why did you not follow up on it? And it's been the same thing that I've said for the past 3 years. So he should, like, at some point it will click,
Yeah.
right? So it's just when. And he says he's trying. I get it. His perspective. I've got to just sit down and be able to, when we're both not in that frustrated moment, both sit down and just have a chat about it. So
And I think that's what it is like coming to him when you're not frustrated. Because
right.
Finn does not react well to that. You know
No,
what I mean?
no.
It's funny. It's like when you're really sweet about it and you're nice and I go in real soft, whatever, it's like he
Yeah.
really does respond better.
Yeah.
So I think it's knowing your kids. John and I are
Oh, yeah.
really strict about manners. We're really strict about being a good person, being a positive person, a helpful person, work ethic, like don't be lazy, be a worker, right?
If you see something like out of place on the floor, pick it up. Bring your dishes over. Just basic things that will make you a good human overall.
Right.
If somebody's struggling, help them out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we have a great relationship with the boys. I think we're really lucky. They're really good kids. They love being home, which I think is always a good sign.
Yeah.
And I think they respect us. I think they look up to us. I think they think we're fun and cool. I think we're doing a
Yeah.
good job with them. I feel very lucky.
We
But-
give them their leeway until they give them.
Yeah, like
we
we're
trust
strict,
them.
but we're not crazy strict.
No.
Like, we want them to be independent. We want them to have fun. We want them to live their lives. We don't want to micromanage every little thing. And we want them to have self-control, and like no boundaries. And they're going to fuck up, but
Yeah, right.
we're okay with that as
Yep.
long as they learn.
Okay, we got a couple more.
Let's go.
Do you both agree on what to leave the thermostat at night, and how many
No.
degrees? Yeah.
Is this every household? Like is
Yes.
it really? I like to be cold. I hate sweating. I hate it being hot and stuffy. I don't like dark. I like bright, cool, fresh air. Like I like bright and happy and like,
I like cold. I don't.
but I'm saying like at night,
Yeah.
I'd rather have the air on or something. Like I want to be under the covers cold where like you'll sleep
yeah.
over the covers
60
and have it be warm. And I'm like,
67.
the covers are there for a
65.
reason.
Yeah.
That's not where you have it at 74.
It's 65.
No, it's
In the winter, yeah. Your
in the
mom's
winter
freezing,
when
yeah.
it's freezing.
Right,
But I'm saying
65.
like John will literally,
66.
his normal temperature is 74, 75.
Well, in the summer, then yeah, because it's 100 degrees out or 90.
But it's like, and then now Finn has taken a liking to the thermostat.
Yes, and he
So
should
now
not,
we're all,
he should not be. Kids should not be touching.
but
the
we're all
thermostat.
fighting over it.
But I can control it from my phone. So, and Caroline hasn't figured that one out yet.
I will.
There are so many people in your home at all times. How do you make time for each other? Yeah, there's a lot of people at our house all the time.
Right.
I mean, we work together. We spend so much time together.
If anything, we want time apart.
Yeah. But if I go do my golf, I'm okay with that. No, we find those moments, and it's not like we need to be stuck on each other all day, all night. Like, we're not like that. That's just
We never were like that.
Her being independent. Like, if we go out to a party, let her go talk to her friends. I'll go talk to my friends. Then we'll meet at different points throughout the night, hang out, but we don't have to always be by each other's side. And I think that's what's
We're
so
freaked
great.
out by people like that.
Yeah,
We're always
yeah,
like, me
yeah.
and John, it's like when people used to be like, oh, they're not even hanging out, or like,
Yeah.
we're not on top. Like, no, we're not on top of each other. We're not making out. We're not like, I'm not sitting on his lap.
But we'll give each other looks across the room.
like
and you're
looks,
like,
or we'll hold
yeah, yeah.
hands,
Oh,
or
yeah.
we'll hug,
Yeah, yeah.
or we'll like give each other a little kiss. But I'm saying like we're very independent. We are not jealous people. Like John does
no.
not care who I'm talking to, what I'm doing. That's the truth, and we respect that.
Okay, last one. How would
you
how
living
would
in
John
New
do in NYC?
Okay, I think number one, he would hate the cold. He would not be happy in the cold. He left Michigan for a reason.
Yes.
And getting around the city and the sidewalks and the slush, I definitely don't think he would like it. Two, he does not like anyone hearing anything. So it could be your own home, your own backyard, but he does not like you raising your voice or talking out loud. Like, he will shush you if you're having a conversation with somebody. If you're on
No.
the phone outside, he will literally be like, shh, the neighbors.
When you're screaming,
But I don't think it's
outside,
screaming. Like,
yeah.
it's still, but even if I wanted to scream, I paid money to live here. I'm
No,
allowed
I-
to. The
I
same way
understand
then it's like, why are they screaming
Yeah.
when they're jumping in the pool? It's like, there's no need to scream. So it's the same. It's kind of like, it's your home. You're allowed, I can talk as loud as I want. That's the truth. So John hates it. Like, makes him so
oh my God,
uncomfortable.
like when we lived in the apartment together.
Oh,
when we
his
first
eyes,
moved in
like
together, and
the
she's
eyes.
like screaming with her mom, and it's like the barrio, and you like hear them speaking in Spanish. You're like, blah, 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 so loud, and
imagine
you're like,
living in an apartment.
Holy shit! Yeah,
He could never live in an apartment because he would be freaked out by being able to
unless
hear
it was
anything.
really big, or the top floor.
Yeah, but like, and I think also just the cost of everything. It's just so expensive, the city. You just getting cabs and Ubers and the day to day
Yeah.
is very expensive. And I think John would have a nervous breakdown.
With your spending
Yeah,
habits?
100%.
Yeah, I think so. I would.
I personally I wouldn't want to go back to an apartment at this point. Being able to sit outside,
Oh, yeah,
being able to
yeah.
have the pool, having a backyard.
Not
there
with
is
kids.
no comparison.
Maybe if it was just the two of us. I
Yeah,
could
maybe once the
potentially
kids
do that.
graduate and
Yeah.
if they're in college somewhere, and if like we wanted to get us an apartment somewhere
Yeah.
and move to the city, like that I would maybe do. But again, it is a certain way of
cold,
life
yeah.
that either for me, it's like do it right or don't do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I already live
Yeah.
there, so to go back and live worse doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
No. If it was something we could afford and do it right, I would definitely consider it. But that's not happening anytime soon. So I love you, New
No.
York. We want to come visit as much as possible. All right, are we done?
Okay, yeah.
That was it?
Yep, that's it.
Last question?
That was it. Yep.
We're done. You guys keep asking us questions. We love answering. And this has been so much fun. Thank you for joining us in our bedroom, in our bed. Thank you for putting up with me when I'm sick. So I love you guys. Please leave a review, a like, a follow, tell your friends to listen. We would so appreciate it. And we love you. We'll be back next week. Mwah. Get up and get dressed. Love you all.